Two bounty hunters confront fugitive and all wind up dead. This video shows the moment armed bounty hunters Fidel Garcia and Gabriel Bernal tried to nab wanted fugitive Raymond Hutchinson, who was also armed. And boy oh boy did it go wrong. Hours prior to the confrontation, Garcia and Bernal reportedly told a Nissan Greenville, Texas car dealership staff on Tuesday that they were feds and were waiting for their man. Except they weren't feds, got into a shootout in a crowded area, and along with Hutchinson, wound up dead. The pair had confronted Hutchinson with their weapons drawn. Then he also pulled a piece, but dropped it on the table. Next, a struggle ensued between the men, and Hutchinson managed to grab his gun. About 20 shots were fired in a matter of seconds. All three men died in a hail of bullets. Thankfully, no one else was hurt in the shootout. Bernal and Garcia were hunting Hutchinson after he didn't show up to court in Minnesota for a first-degree drug charge. The pair worked for FNG Security and Investigations in Corpus Christi. Hutchinson's previous crimes included assaulting a cop, as well as disarming an officer. Say no to safe spaces on YouTube. Support TomoNews at patreon.com/TomoNews. Keep watching for more stories featuring a deadly turn of events. Navy SEAL dies in skydive gone wrong. A member of the U.S. Navy's Leapfrog skydiving team has died after his parachute failed to open properly during a jump. The unnamed Navy SEAL was doing a jump over the New York harbor on Sunday when tragedy struck. Realizing that he was in trouble, the SEAL detached his parachute and aimed to land in the Hudson River. His partially open parachute landed in a parking lot close to the waterfront. The SEAL landed in the river and was pulled out by a rescue team. He was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. The Leapfrogs were doing a coordinated jump into Jersey City's Liberty State Park as part of a Fleet Week demonstration. 7-Eleven clerk caps would-be robber during her cigarette break. A would-be robber is in the ground after his plan to hold up a St. Louis 7-Eleven backfired quite spectacularly. He was killed early on Monday outside this 7 in South St. Louis. Word is a store clerk was on her smoke break when a wannabe crook came at her with a piece. She reciprocated by pulling her own and shot him in the leg, arm, and chest, while he fired 2 slugs into her leg. But this badass lady came out on top and put the aspiring burglar down for good. He was later identified as Daryl Mays, a man with a violent criminal past. The 35-year-old clerk remains unidentified, but locals are calling her a shero. She's reportedly stable in a local hospital. Man killed in freak accident with a circular saw. A 52-year-old man in Thailand met a grisly end on February 28th when his DIY home fix-it job with a power saw went about as badly wrong as it gets. The deceased, identified in reports only as Samut, had planned to scale some scaffolding to solve a termite problem. But Samut's fate was sealed when he stepped onto an unsafe makeshift ladder while holding the saw, which was powered on. As he was getting to work, he slipped and lost control of the circular saw. The blade's steel teeth tore into his neck and chest. His injuries were severe and probably not survivable even if he'd been treated immediately. The deep lacerations to Samut's neck and chest resulted in heavy blood loss, and he died at the accident scene. It probably doesn't need to be said, but we'll do it anyway. Power tools, especially ones with sharp spinning blades, should always be handled with extreme caution. Say no to safe spaces on YouTube. Support TomoNews at patreon.com/TomoNews. Teens beer and donut heist escalates into deadly police shootout. This police dashcam video picks up the moments following a brazen stick-up at a Seattle 7-Eleven. The teen robbers loot a 12-pack of brewskis, some chips, and donuts. Things escalated when suspects Demarius Butts and his little sister Adriana were hauling ass and a cop caught up to them. And it would have ended there, but Adriana threw a soda bottle at the cop's head and put the officer in a chokehold. Big Bro ran free while his little sister got nabbed. The cops chased Demarius until they arrived in this area, and then went after him on foot. Next, the 19-year-old suspect started spraying lead, forcing the cops to do the same. 2 cops were shot in the ensuing gun battle, and a 3rd officer's hand was wounded. Soon after, Demarius was fatally shot. He was later found dead at the scene. Demarius' 17-year-old sister told police she gave him the gun. She was later found to be armed with a knife. Adriana said she could have slit an officer's throat with the knife, but didn't. She will be tried as an adult for first-degree robbery and third-degree assault. The wounded cops are expected to recover from their injuries.